Okay, so welcome to week number 4. In this update, I'll tell you what happened in the shop, and I'm going to go with a new format this time. Instead of like the spreadsheet and the screenshots and all that, I'm going to go live into my shop instead, and I'll just blur out anything that identifies my shop so you can't find it. So let's go right in. So start of the week, this is June 30th to July 6th, and so Saturday, I got 2 more sales, which is good. The ad budget was not being spent though, which is bad. So I added 5 new listings, and on Saturday I was up to 115 listings, which is fine. Sunday, no more sales to report when I checked at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I did add 13 more listings. My total listings was 128. Monday, I had 2 sales yesterday. So on Sunday I had 2 sales. One was incomplete again, which is weird. I've had 3 now where they put the order in and it didn't go through. So this was on something that was priced like at a super deep discount, and I think the discount was so low that the credit card company thought it was fraudulent, or Etsy thought it was fraudulent. So I've since like raised my prices quite a bit, just because I think that was the issue. Seeing 3 of those go through like that and being canceled, it means that Etsy canceled the order or the credit card company canceled the order, which sucks. So I fixed that by raising my prices on it, and the little experiment that I did with that, it was spending a ton of money, and it was getting a bunch of clicks, but they weren't getting sales. So I think people were going through to my shop and they're seeing basically an empty shop with like one super duper deal, and they wouldn't buy it. So I think going forward, when I have more sales and I have more reviews on the shop, things will actually sell like that. So it's again something that I took a technique that works on existing shops that are getting sales, and I tried to apply it to a new one, and it didn't work very well. So this for me is like it's like an experiment too, because all the stuff that I do works really well on my existing shops, but the same stuff in the startup phase might not work as well. So this is a good exercise for me to go through this whole experiment and this whole challenge, just to see what it's like to go from nothing to getting sales to running ads to doing all that when you can't apply the same techniques that you would on an existing shop in order to get more sales. So I hope that makes sense. Anyway, Monday, I had 2 sales, incomplete. Tuesday, I had 3 sales. Again, one was canceled, which was weird. And so that time, the customer messaged me because they couldn't understand why they couldn't download the product. And I said, like, the payment didn't go through, and didn't hear back from them again. So I don't know what's going on with that. So total sales was 13 orders and 10 sales, because 10 sales, 13 orders. Some people ordered 2 items, some ordered 3. Total listings, 138. I'm going to come back to the start of the week here, but let's go to the shop now. And what I want to show you is basically last week's detailed stats. So I'm on the dashboard. I'm going to click here. I'm going to go to detailed. And then here, I'm going to go custom. And I'm going to go June 30th to July 6th, so you can see that. So there you go. So 220 visits. I had 8 orders. I'm getting a really good conversion rate. 3.6% is really good. And my revenue for that, the last week 4, was $17.44. So things are going up, but there's a but to that. Again, I'll show you in a second what the but is. I was running ads way too aggressively. And again, it's something that I wanted to accelerate things as much as I could. So I was using techniques again that work on existing established stores with a lot of sales, but they don't really work on new stores. So I don't suggest doing what I do for the ads until you have sales, like probably organically, or just be running the ads one product at a time. I'm not that patient, and I'm willing to spend money on ads to see what's working, because what ads do is they buy you time, but I'll get to that in a second. So 220 visits, 8 orders, 3.6, 1744. Now let's go to Etsy ads, which is, I didn't spend a ton, but I spent enough. So let's go Etsy ads, let's go custom, and let's go from the 30th to the 6th. And again, you can see I got 7 orders from ads for $14.47 revenue. I guess 1 order was organic, but I had 10,000 views, 133 clicks, 7 orders, $45.66 spent. Of that $45.66, it went to 2 products that weren't converting. So 25 went to one, and I think $13 went to another. So the bulk of that budget, and I'm running at $25 a day, I'm not spending $25 a day. You can see 45.66 divided by 7 days is actually, just pull up the calculator here. So 45.66 divided by 7 days, $6.52 a day, which is not much compared to my daily budget. So if I divide that by 25, I'm spending about 26% of my daily budget, meaning if I say increase my budget to $100 per day, then I might spend $26 if everything's going the way it was. And that was running ads at $25 a day to all my listings, because I was trying to accelerate it to figure out what's working quick. And then there was a couple days where it was a holiday, or I didn't really work, I didn't really check anything, and things got out of control, and they would spend more on one product than another. And when that happens, it just blows away all your profit margin. You're dead in the water. So what I've done for this week, and I'll show you in a second too, is I've reduced it down to 4 listings, and these 4 listings have a return on ad spend of a 3 or greater. One of them has a return on ad spend of like 12.5, which is really, really good. So return on ad spend means what you're getting back for your spend. So the calculation, if you go here, I'll show you. ROAS formula. So basically, you divide the revenue attributed to your ad campaign by the cost of that campaign. So for example, if you spend $1,000 on ads and your revenue is $2,000, then the ROAS is you calculate that by dividing 2,000 by 1,000, which gives you 2 to 1 or 200%. Okay, that's how you calculate it. So it means that for every dollar you spend, you get like 2 back in that case. Now ROAS of that is decent. The higher the number, basically 1 is break even. Anything below 1, you're losing money. Anything above 1, you're making money. But this doesn't take into account your processing fees, transaction fees, relisting fees at all. So it's kind of accurate, but it's not 100%. I believe this calculation was invented so that agencies could feel better about themselves when they're charging people to run their ads, to be honest. All right, let's go back to all-time stats now. I'll go back to the dashboard, and let's go to detailed, and I'm going to click on all-time. So in here you can see I have all-time since I started June 12th, 403 visits, 11 orders, 2.7 conversion rate, $23.83 in revenue. Not too bad, but I am down quite a bit because I spent a lot of money on ads. I overspent on ads, I'll tell you that. I don't recommend you do that if you're starting up a new shop. In fact, if you are starting a new shop and you've never run ads before and you're not comfortable with it, then what I would suggest is let it go for about 3 months, just building up your shop and your listings and trying to get organic sales. And then once the sales start coming in, then run ads only to those products that are getting sales. And that will help your shop overall too, but it will also stop the bleeding, really, which is not fun, believe me. All right, so the last thing I'm going to show you is the monthly statement. So let's go to finances and monthly statement. And in here you can see this is just for July, and you can see on my screen it's July 7th. So my current net profit for July, I'm down $62.93. In sales, I've got $20.10. Fees, I've got $22.45. And ads is where I overspent so far. That's just the first week. and I've spent $60.58 in marketing. So I'll click that for you. And I don't have any, excuse me, offsite ads, any sales from that. But there you can see. So July, first week of July, yeah, I'm down. Overall, I'm down. But this is the point where I wanted to talk to you about the last thing, well, second last thing. Let's do the plan for next week first. So start of week 5. I forgot to put 5 there. Start of week 5, July 7th to July 13th. What I said is I was spending way too much on ads like a dummy. I was taking techniques that work very well on established stores. They don't work well on new ones. This week, I'm only going to run my winners. And right now it's 4 of them, $25 per day. And the winners have a return on ad spend of 3 or more. If any of those start dropping below, I will just shut them off. And I'm going to check them daily. So I'll check them once a day. Now my goal for the week is 50 new listings. But the question now is, I'm on week 5, right? This is a brand new shop. I'm getting some sales, but I'm not really making any money. I'm actually losing money. And this is a point where you got to say, like, how do I feel about this so far? How would you feel about this so far? Do I want to quit? Am I annoyed? What am I going to do? The answer is yeah. I mean, of course I'm annoyed. Everybody wants to make money right out of the gate, but we know for a fact that Etsy is a marathon, not a sprint. So I also know that sometimes it can take you about 3 months to even get any sort of notice from Etsy as far as organic traffic coming in. And I haven't even started my kind of social traffic side at all. So that, my little social web that I'm building, will be bringing in the traffic as well as what I'm doing on Etsy. And I think that's important that you have to bring traffic in from outside of Etsy. I've also got a whole bunch of tricks up my sleeve. I haven't implemented any of them. Well, I did 1, maybe 2 of them, and I've got a whole bag of tricks that I'm going to be applying to this shop. So I think it's good that for once on YouTube, you see somebody being honest and transparent and struggling with a brand new shop, so that you can then watch how I turn it around and how I get to profitability. And then you can say, hey, if that dude did it, I can do it too. And I know that everybody who does and sticks with it, they will make it work. Now, I've got advantages because I've been through this a couple times, but I want you to see how it doesn't just click right away, and how you feel like throwing in the towel, and how you feel like quitting, and how that's normal. That's part of the game. So treat it like that, and just understand the startup phase of Etsy stinks. It's not fun. It's very difficult to go through, especially when you see money going out and not much money coming back in. And you look at all these other people, and you look at all these YouTubers with their wild screenshots and all that. But you got to realize there is more going on behind the scenes than they're showing you. They're using a lot of stuff that you don't have access to. So I wanted this challenge to be as realistic as possible, and I think I'm doing that. So I wanted to just go with, I think my revenue was what, $23, something like that. So I just want to go with my percentage, which is, I think it was $23.74. That's my revenue, divided by 100,000 times 100. So I'm at about, not much, 0.02 of my goal so far, if I did that right. So it's coming. Well, what would 1% of my goal be? Let's go like that. Sorry. 103 times 0.01. So $1,000 would be 1%. So yeah, I got a long way to go even to get to 1% of my goal. But it's summertime. It's a good time to be building this, and the sales are going to come. Like, everything that I'm doing today is going to pay off a month or 2 or 3 or 4 down the road, and then I can really start applying all the stuff that will really accelerate this thing right to the moon. So stick around. Let me know in the comments if you've been in that position where, you know, you've tried for a bit and you're losing money and then you just throw in the towel. Let me know in the comments if that's you. Let me know if I should keep going. What do you think? Tell me in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great week.